Hello everyone, this is Inayat Mir with my SQL Always On scenario failover clustering. This is my video number 3. Enjoy this music for a few seconds and I will start real hands-on work in 10 seconds. Alright, now as you know, if you have seen my previous videos, that this is my video number 3. I am working on 5 computers, 1 domain, 4 member servers. All nodes are up and running with failover clustering. This is my SQL Server where I left before to start my new availability group visit. So here I am going to start my new availability group visit. First, we will go through some prerequisites we have to meet first. So you can give them, this is a test. So this will not go through because we are going to get an error or prerequisites request. So I just gonna add here test GRP. Here you read from the right side which database meets prerequisites. Only the first one. So we have to go back and fix other 3 databases because we need to have recovery model as full and we need to have database backups. So let's go and check. First on test 1, I am going to change from simple to full recovery model. So one of the 2 prerequisites has met. Now you need to go and take a backup. We will leave the backup path as it is and we will just click on OK. So the database will be backed up. So we met prerequisites for test 1. On test 2, let's go and check that what is our recovery model. At this time, under options, it is full, so we are good. But I left one thing, you will know in a second. I'm in a 3rd database now, changing the simple recovery model to full and going to do a backup. As usual, read the backup path and click on OK. The 4th database, look at the options, recovery model, which is full, so we need to do a backup. Because these databases are empty or almost have nothing in it, so it is so quick actually. So you see that the backup takes only few seconds. So we go back and check again. Intentionally I left something incomplete in test 2 database. So once you click on next, you will see that. So here I am going to add the group which I want to have it, but let me copy this because I will come back and use this group name anyways. Here test 2 needs a full backup, yes. So I copied the group name, I am going to backup. This is a full, so as you know that I did this one, but I didn't do the second part. So I have to run a backup as well. It will be quick. So once we are done here, we met all prerequisites. Let's go back, new, and paste the name for availability group name. And now we have, you can click on anywhere actually on the right column and the status. You can see that now we basically are meeting with all requirements. We are good to go. So you are going to select whichever database you want to. So I am leaving test2 alone. So I am going to have these three databases mirrored to other server. Mirrored means, like, it was an old concept for 2005 SQL. I'm not doing that one right now, but this is a kind of a copy of database, a backup from one SQL to other SQL. So this SRV1 is a primary, as you can see that. This is my primary server. You can pick up a replica. So replica, I am going to pick SRV2 secondary. So I am going to give you the concept. So I will leave two other servers alone. I will add 4 and I will remove it. That is a part of the lab, and I will leave everything as it is. The way you see that we are using always on high availability domain with a student account. So here you can take a look on the options. I will make a separate video to explain all of these options anyways. Maybe the last video, I might want to add a 5th video, or I might go and explain things on video number 5. So here I will add listener, which we don't have right now. So currently I will leave as it is. Later on I will add listener. I showed you the IP 1.57. So far we have a primary database server and a secondary database server. Just look at the other options, but definitely I will go ahead and explain to you these all options as well. For now, the target is that you need to have a replica of those three databases. So here, this is a shared folder already available. Let's take a look. You can use a CMD in Explorer to go to command line. You can use start space whack and server name and enter. You should be able to see all available shares. So this is only one available share. So that is where you are going to right now. If you use run or search, you just use \\. You don't need to add a start switch. So here everything is good. You have a listener configuration basically as a warning. I'm going to add anyways. So just click on warning, read the message and click on next. So that is not a problem. So I'm going to add a static IP address for listener. I will give a name my listener. You will see that. So everything will be so crisp and clear for everyone. Just scroll down, read the information here. You can drop down and from the script. Also you can script it. So where you can review this all and execute in your SQL CMD mode. You will see that. So click on here, new query editor. So on the back end, you will see there will be a new query. Actually, all was copied over back there. So don't worry that squeezle under the SRV1, that will go away once we launch SQL CMD mode. But here, new availability group visit is going to be completed in few seconds. Just scroll down, everything was succeeded. Take your time and look at it. So I don't want to waste your time. When you do at your own, just go through every single row and column. Here you can go under your query and click on CMD mode, and you will see that SRV1 is now has no any kind of red squeezle under it. So you are good to look at it. If I go back here and put back into the regular mode here, you will see something like underline some squeezle, red squeezle on it. So don't worry about that one, but it was just a method where you can go and execute those queries. So we have some prerequisites for that. So we have a database availability group, and you can go and add listener manually at this time. Give them a name. I selected the name as suggested, my listener. I am using 1433 default SQL port in production. Definitely you're going to change it, and you can add the IP address here. I am going to add 192.168.1.57. So that was the IP I showed you from my notepad. So here is the notepad again. This notepad shows you my listener. I'm using my listener IP address. If it's unique, it will go through. If it's not unique, you can change actually the name. Once you click on OK, you will see that if I was testing the same name before, possibly I may see an error here. But in DNS, let me show you, I do not, or I should not have a record now until I create this record. So here you see my 4 servers and the domain A host records, and I will leave as it is. Even I refresh it, I would not be able to see my listener's IP address and A host record at this time. So let's go back to my server and click on OK. So that's mean I was testing this before. So just ignore this error, click on OK and make it this name unique that wasn't used before. So I can use my underscore listener and this will go through definitely. I have never used this name before, so click on OK. With the same IP, once it is provisioned, we can go back to DNS and my DNS will definitely have a new A host record. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 should be done. Shouldn't take that long. Done. Okay, so let's go and first we can validate from the domain. And the DNS, you refresh it. Yes, I got my listener IP address 192.168.1.57. Very good. So far we are good. Up to here, everything worked well. So we got my underscore listener as well. And we got a primary server and we got a secondary server. Let's go to secondary server now. Directly you can go to secondary from the same management studio. Now we have 2 servers. So I am going to expand my secondary server now. If you look at that, it says SRV2 secondary. So you should see all of those databases in green play mark on it. So you can refresh them. Everything should be good. So I am on 2 now. Just look at carefully second row. I am browsing from SRV2. So where I am having a replica, I do have a listener and my databases are syncing. By default, they are read-only. Right now, you see I cannot actually expand it. But for that, I have to go back to my primary SRV1 and allow write access. So let's go and do this one. So I am back now on SRV1 under my SVR2 secondary. I am going to readable secondary. I'm making this allowable. Allow. I will say yes and click on OK. Now we can go back and you will be able to, and we should be able to expand the database on SRV2. Okay, so now you can actually go and take a look on the queries. You can do things here. I'm not doing anything here, just to let you know that we are good. We have a primary server, we have a secondary server, we have 3 databases, we have replication between server 1 and server 2, between primary and secondary. Here I am going to add a new table in my first server SRV1. That table should replicate to SRV2. Just simply give them a name, test, and refresh it. You should have this table available because this table is under test one database. So now you can see this database, this table under test 1. So go back to the second server, SRV2, and you should be able to see that. I will show you that one. So here you can add a replica from secondary actually, and either way we are able to do that one. Just a demo, or for the demo purposes I'm showing you this one. You can click on connect to all and click on connect, and connect as same account, student. Click on next, and here you can add a replica. So I do have SRV1 and SRV2. Let me add SRV4 just as a demo purposes and remove it back. So I'm adding on SRV4, and I'm gonna remove it back just to show you that I am able to add replicas right from here. And you can look at the option, you can scroll right, take a look at those options. You can click on each tab and you are able to see the options what we have seen previously, same options. And click on next and finish. You will see the other replica is available. Just as a learning purposes or demo purposes, I am showing you this one, but we will continue working on SRV1 and SRV2. So we are going to complete this wizard with no issues. And you can scroll down, take a look. You can ignore all warnings or any skipped result pane, but we are good. So there is nothing which is a roadblock. So we are good to go right from there. So now you can refresh it. You can take a look on that, how it works from the SRV1 and SRV2. On the bottom, you can see SRV1, 2, and 4. So we have another secondary. So primary will still exist as primary. SRV1 is a primary. So now by default, it is a readable secondary again, as we had a SRV2. On the top, you see that we added up from secondary, it is available in primary. So if you remove from primary, it will be gone from secondary. So I am now going to remove SRV4. Once you refresh it, or when it is refreshed on SRV2, it should be gone. So now we have SRV1 and SRV2. So now take a look. A listener, availability replicas, and databases. So everything should be matching from SRV1 to SRV between both servers. So this is my dashboard, or you can look at the dashboard from clicking on the group name. You can go one by one from start failover visit, view always on health events, view cluster quorum information, etc. So you can take a look, and on the bottom left side you can see the availability replicas. We have two servers, SRV1 and SRV2. On the right, you can see add, remove columns. So these are all the options which we are going to browse around and take a look on that one. That is where you manage your availability groups. So on the right side, you have those all visits, and which server you are on, you can see here. On the top, you have SRV1. On the bottom, you have SRV2. So you will see all of the databases as well on the bottom. So we are using only 3 of them, not all of them. So this is just a review question screen. Just pause and watch. I will see you in my video number 4. Thank you for watching.